Hello and welcome back to Across the Gulf Coast. Well, as I promised before the break, we are now joined by the ACTS Reentry Program. We've got Leon Rankins and Joyce Arnold with ACTS joining us today. Thank you both so much for being my guests today.
Thank you for having us. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So Leon, let's start with you. And let's just talk about ACTS overall. What is this organization and what do you offer to the community?
Well, ACTS, the acronym stands for Another Chance Transitional Services. ACTS started as an idea in 2013 as a nonprofit organization specifically for employment for former offenders, veterans, and the homeless. But since that time, it has just transitioned into so much more. We now offer employment, we offer behavior modification classes, job coaching, drug addiction counseling, and now housing really soon.
So somebody at home is watching right now and they want to get involved or they're curious about your programs. How can they sign up for these programs? How do they get these services?
Well, our volunteer coordinator, Edna Burnett, you can call the ACTS Life Center there. And the phone number, of course, is 437-9900. We're always in need of volunteers with a heart. The demographic that we serve are mostly men and women coming out of incarceration from the county level, state, and even federal level. But I've seen just in the course of 3.5 years just how big of an impact this organization has had. Literally, we've seen men and women coming into our center, drug addicted, no more hope, nowhere to turn. But in the interim, they have developed skills, I believe, that has enabled them to move ahead with their life.
Let's talk about some of that, some maybe your success stories. Do you have any that you're able to share with us?
Absolutely. I have a gentleman by the name of Mike, and I'll just use first names. But Mike came out of incarceration after doing 14 years, straight calendar years. He came in, he took our group counseling classes and our behavior modification therapy classes. He developed personal life skills because, as you and I know, if you've been gone that long, the world as you once knew it has changed.
Absolutely.
Technology changed. When he left, his children were babies, now they're adults. And so he had to really develop a pattern of life now in 2016. At that time, it was 2014, I think. But he came in, developed those skills. He is working. Now he is an entrepreneur. He has his own company, and he's now hiring former offenders. He's now in our mentor program. Our mentorship program is comprised of individuals from the community who are willing to invest in these men and women, giving them a second chance. It's been a phenomenal journey. I mean, I'm just floored at how quickly it has grown.
That is an outstanding story for him to, like you said, from 14 years incarcerated to now owning his own business.
Absolutely.
And trying to repay former offenders by hiring them on.
And I really think that's so important for the community to know, because there are stories of men and women going back to prison. You know, the recidivism rate is high, but there are stories of men and women who aren't bad. They just need an opportunity, and that's what ACTS has provided.
Fantastic. And we'll talk about how people can get involved in just a second.
Absolutely.
But Joyce, I'd like to talk to you as a board member. Tell me a little bit about your involvement and how you got involved with ACTS.
I got involved with ACTS because my personal story is I have a son that's incarcerated. And if this program had been had started before he went back, I believe that he would be a success story. It's personal to me because to see the men and women without hope, how can we not give them some hope? Working with ACTS has been such a joy to me. And my son, I'm believing one day that he will be out and be able to be a productive father. Now, he's been in there 15 years. He's a grandfather now. Has never seen his grandchildren. So, there are a lot of men and women, they may have done some things, but that doesn't mean that they are not a good person. They're not a good father, they're not a good mother, but we need to help them, re-nurture them and show them that there is a better way. You can do this. We have, we can push you. We want to push you into that next dimension of your life and let you know, that you do have the skills. They are locked inside of you. We just need to be, they need to be rebirthed again.
Bring it out.
Exactly. And so to be on the board is just to see how God has moved so tremendously, so fast with this. And so I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this because it's personal to me.
And, I mean, both of those stories are great stories and show the passion that you guys have for it. And Leon, we got about a minute left, but I do want to give you the chance to talk about how people can get involved. I mean, obviously, a personal story like that might drive you to it. Somebody you know, or just the willingness to volunteer or to give. I know that that's
Yes.
big as well.
We are in a capital campaign right now for the Acts Dream Again Center. We've been leasing our property for 2.5 years, and now the owners of the property has consented to sell us that property. We have to come up with a $50,000 down payment by June the 10th to purchase the property and the land. And so I do make that appeal if you're willing to help us in any way, volunteer your time or your resources. You know, a lot of people just know somebody
Sure.
that can help us. And so I just ask that you log on to our website at www.actsdreamagaincenter.org or simply call the office at 437-9900. And it only takes a little bit for us to come together, which produces a lot.
Yeah, I mean, those are, like I said, those are fantastic stories, and I appreciate y'all sharing
Absolutely.
those stories with us. And then coming on, first time on the show,
Yes.
we'll have to have you back as you have more events and maybe a celebration, ribbon cutting or something.
Yes,
of the-
we're
of the
looking
building when
forward
you
to
get
it.
So,
If they can remember or hear Acts Dream Again Center, get that concept.
absolutely. Thank you both so much for being my guests.
Thank
today.
you,
I
my
really
pleasure.
appreciate
Thank you
coming
for
on.
having us.
Absolutely. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll be joined by the Pensacola Network.